Started. So today we are going to be doing a Propstream webinar. I'm going to show you, and Burton is here. He is the Propstream master, and he's going to break down and show you for a good 30-40 minutes everything that you can do and use with Propstream in order to elevate your business and help you succeed when wholesaling real estate, which is super amazing, right? I don't want to be good. I want to be great, right? And replace those two words with I will be great. And in order for me to be great, I need tools and resources that will help me be great. And Propstream has been that thing that has helped me be great because of what they provide. Their comping platform and all that you use to evaluate and figure out what properties are worth in order to make educated offers is great and has helped me be great and succeed in real estate. Not only has their comping platform in order to evaluate properties helped me be great, their motivated sellers and filtering of lists and figuring out exactly what key criteria you want to hit with your marketing in whatever market it is has helped me succeed so much in real estate. So in order to be great, I need tools in order to be great and amazing at real estate, and Propstream has been able to provide me that. So today I wanted to bring you guys this live webinar. That way you can not only watch Burton explain exactly what you can do with Propstream, but also ask questions, because I know, just watching a video that shows you how to comp and how to pull data doesn't answer it all. So that's why it's so important to be able to ask questions, and that's why we're here today. So thanks, Burton, for doing this with me, so that way we can help out the real estate community.
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks for having me here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for investing your time with us. I'm not really much of a talker, so I figured I'd just show you what our app can do. So with that said, let me just go ahead and share my screen. The first thing I'd like to share with you guys before I dive into, what Propstream can do, let me bring up actually a PowerPoint or an outline of what we really can do. So this is it right here. Our system, I like to say, is like the two-part system, right? You need to generate leads if you're in this industry. And then once those leads come trickling in, once they start calling you, you need to analyze those leads, right? You need to be able to run comps on these properties. I don't care if you're a realtor or a fix and flipper, you're going to make an offer eventually. And so you need to make sure you're making the right offer. So our system does actually both. It does lead generation, which there's three parts to it. So if you're just here to build a list, you can. You can just search, filter, save a list of addresses, and get it out of here. Part two is skip tracing. You can actually get a cell phone, a landline, or an email for an additional cost. So you could build like a buyer's list. You can build a senior owner's list, a tax delinquency list, a pre-foreclosure list. And then within like 2 minutes or less, get a phone number, an email, or even a landline, and then export your results out of Propstream. Or when it comes to the final thing that you can do with lead generation, it's direct marketing. You can actually market to your lists that you've created within Propstream. So you build a list, gather their contact information, and then you can go into our marketing area where we'll give you a website for this list that you just created. So if you created a vacant list and got their phone numbers, then your landing page would probably say something like, I buy vacant houses, right? And then after you create that landing page, you'll send postcards, voicemails, and emails. So you can do this as many times as you like because you get up to 10,000 records every month. So my first list could be maybe 500 properties that didn't pay their taxes. I get their contact information. I set up a website for them, and then I send them a postcard. And then I go back and I do that again, but this time I do it for maybe a pre-foreclosure list or a lien list, get their contact information, create another marketing for them. And with the new list, I'll get another website. And then I could send them a postcard, a voicemail, or an email. Now, whether you do that with Propstream or you do that somewhere else, someone is going to end up calling you back. And that's where the second part of Propstream comes in, which is you can analyze a property, meaning you can search an address and we'll tell you everything we know in terms of the property details, the financial details like the mortgage information, how much equity they have, and then what we call the situational data. Situational data is this right here. For the last 15 years, we've been collecting this data, and this is what we have. We have not just residential, but we have commercial, industrial, vacant land, office, agricultural, exempt properties. But we also collect this data on top of all of that, right? Tax assessors, pre-foreclosures, deeds, open mortgages, pre-probates, document images, liens, you name it, right?
Real
Now,
quick,
not
I want
only
to chime in. It's just super crazy that they provide all these different categories to filter by because like I've used, I've been in this business for, fully in this business for over 3 years now. I went through so many different data providers. And usually you find a data provider that has, three of these, pre-foreclosures, open mortgages, free and clear. They have like three or four of these, but they don't have this many. So that's why it's kind of like a one-stop shop for every different list you could possibly need. And that's another thing that is just like so amazing about it because you end up paying for, like 5 different services in order to get each type of list. And, that adds up. And so that's why, Propstream, that's just another amazing benefit of it, that it's all there.
exactly. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. And to make it even more amazing, not only did we buy the data from these separate providers that, hoard their own data, but we went ahead and connected that data together as well. So like for example, in the next few minutes, I can go into a market and search for a pre-foreclosure that has an open mortgage that is not on the MLS and is in an HOA environment, right? So let me show you exactly how that works. And remember, let's remember the outline here. This is the first part. Just search and filter, and these are just some things that you can filter. So when I go into Propstream,
And another
you
thing
can
too, a lot of people stack their lists using a list stacker service, and they pay monthly for that in order to see if these records are on, if they're in foreclosure and they are behind on their taxes. They try to stack this to see how many different categories the list falls into, and they're paying monthly for that. And PropStream basically stacks the list for you in order for you to see every single category that this person falls under, which is just another amazing thing too.
absolutely, and it's a nationwide platform. So even though I'm in Southern California, like I can search anywhere. I saw someone mention Atlanta. So if I wanted to, I can wake up today and search Atlanta, and now it's going to take me to Atlanta, Georgia, show me the 300,000 records that PropStream has collected for you, right, on your behalf. And so these records are just a few of these right here. Now, we're also going to take these records and categorize them for you, show you how many properties are listed with an agent, are in pre-foreclosure, auctions, foreclosure, etc. But the filter is the power of PropStream. It's to be able to go into any market, right? Atlanta, Fulton County, Miami, Las Vegas. And once you get your result, you can choose any of our 19 categories. So if I wanted to start stacking data, I can say, look, I'd like a pre foreclosure and I have additional filters, like maybe a pre foreclosure that's vacant. And the only reason that works is because we bought the pre foreclosure data along with the United States Postal Service vacant data. And because we connected those two together, I'm able to find these 13 properties where if I were to click on them, the properties are indicated as being vacant, no one's answering their mail, and it's in pre foreclosure. This is how PropStream works. We've done the hard work of collecting that data for you, but done even more hard work of piecing it together for you so that whether you're in Atlanta or you decide, you know what, I'm going to go to Chicago today, you can go into our filter, choose any of our 19 categories. Let's say this time around, a senior owner property, and then start refining it as much as you please. So maybe it's a senior owner that's absent to this property. There's no tenants because it's currently vacated right now. You have property characteristics that you can specify. Like I mentioned, do you want the property in an HOA? I would be down here. You can say, yes, I want HOA. No, I want to stay away from those guys. Beds, bathroom. I know most of us here are in the residential space. So residential, And you can choose duplex, complexes, condominiums, or single family. And that's just property characteristics. We have MLS filters for you. So you can say, I want something that is on market with an agent or off market, which is what I'm sure every one of us is going to aim for, off market properties. Now, as Jacob said, you guys can stack if you wanted to. Like not only a senior owner that's off market, but what if it failed in the last few years? That shows some level of motivation, correct? Just that an agent couldn't handle it. Maybe you're the only alternative. So, what you can do in Propstream is, as I mentioned, this search Chicago, filter senior owners with absentee owned, vacant properties, certain characteristics. I'd like it off market. Maybe I want to add some pre foreclosure records to it, essentially stacking. Maybe I want certain ownership information, like you must own it for at least 11 years. And I'd like to speak to an individual, not a corporate office. Again, I know most of us are aiming for that. You also have lien, bankruptcy, divorce filters you can add to your search. Valuation and equity. So you can let us know what values you're looking for, what level of equity you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for 30% or more, at least in equity. And finally, because we collect mortgage information, you can look for that. You may not think that that's important, but think about a senior owner who is not at a property and is vacated, right? This property is empty, and that property has an open mortgage on it. Don't you think that's eating up the senior owner's savings right now? And these are the things that you can do. Why? Because we collected this data and put it all together for you so that you can create these types of searches. A senior owner, not at a house, currently vacated, soft market, it's been owned for 11 years, and there's an open mortgage on this property. At this point, you can now hit close, and here are your unique properties to that market that you just searched. Remember, you get 10,000 records, so you don't have to get this specific. If you want to dial it back a little bit and say, you know what, I don't care if it has a mortgage or not, you can start going backwards to yield more results. So if you want to stack heavily, feel free, but I don't recommend it too much because, again, this is a numbers game, right? You
Right.
want to make sure there's enough leads in your pipeline. So that's why we give you 10,000 records every month.
Another thing I like about Propstream is it shows you my search over here on the right, and it lists everything you clicked. That way you can see what you're working with and how you built your list. A lot of other data providers don't provide that. One that does is ListSource, and ListSource is extremely expensive, and they show you your search as you build it. And it's like extremely helpful to see that search being built on the right-hand side.
Absolutely. And this is just part one. I mean, once we're done creating our 70 senior owners that have vacant absentee owned properties, we can now check them all off and add it to a marketing list. And so when I hit add to list here, I can add it to an existing list that I already created or create a new one. Since I never searched here, I can do Chicago senior vacant properties and hit the save button. And what I just showed you guys is just part one. We searched Chicago. You could do the same thing, right? You could search your own market for today's example. Filtered one category, which was senior owners, and added some stuff to it, right? We made sure it was off market with equity and some owner preferences that we wanted. And then now I'm saving my lists. Again, you get 10,000 records every month. Now I can export my leads. So if I go back to Propstream, my 70 properties have been saved to my list, which is here on the left-hand side. I can now click on that, and here on the left-hand side, I'll see my Chicago senior vacant properties. I can now check them all off and hit the export button. And what's going to happen, it's going to give me an Excel sheet, and it's the addresses of the properties we just built. So I'm going to be able to see the beds, bathrooms, square footage, owner names, mailing addresses, right? So this is the primary address, the subject property. But remember, these are non-owner occupied homeowners. So we will give you the mailing addresses as well. That way you can send them a postcard to the mailing address. But I'm going to be very honest with you. There's a reason why I call it part one, because once you get the addresses from Propstream, I assume you know what you need to do next, right? Either send postcards, knock on doors, or do some other sort of research outside of Propstream. But look, if you're looking to save time, that's what part two does. Part two allows you to take any marketing list that you just built and skip trace it with Propstream. For those that don't know what that is, that's getting a contact information. So I can click on skip tracing and select any marketing list I just created or saved. For example, the senior vacant properties. Check them all off, hit add selected contacts, and for an additional cost, very affordable, I can get cell phones and emails. So I'll do just that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and place my order. Even though I don't invest in Chicago, I'll show you how we can get numbers there. But now I've just placed my orders for Chicago senior owners. I'll put with phone numbers here and hit save. In about 2 minutes or less, once you skip trace a marketing list, your results will be stored in the contacts page. So now I just go into the contacts, and in about 2 minutes, my Chicago list, which is currently processing right now, is going to look like my Long Beach list where it says completed. And now I have the emails and cell phones that Propstream's been able to capture. And at this point, you can check off your results and export that. So again, part one is building a list and just exporting the addresses. Part one and part two is building the list, but then getting their phone numbers and then exporting it out of Propstream. And then part three is, you know what? Let's just market to them within Propstream. And that is our campaign area. Our campaign area allows you to create as many campaigns as you need, right? Because you're going to have different marketing lists. So you should have different campaigns. If you have a senior owner campaign or marketing list like we just created, then I should have a senior owners campaign. And each campaign you create, like you see here, you get a website for that campaign, right? We sell houses, we buy vacant houses, we buy tax delinquent, whatever the scenario is. So first thing you get when you create a campaign is a website for your audience in that campaign. And then you can send them a postcard, a voicemail, or an email within Propstream. And those are the three parts to lead generation. Again, we don't know where you are at in your business. Maybe you just need our addresses. Maybe you need our addresses and phone numbers. Maybe you need everything, right? The addresses, the phone numbers, and the ability to market to them as well. And that's lead generation with Propstream. Now, I'm going to now go over into the next phase, which is let's say we do all of that. We built the seniors list. We're getting the phone numbers, which I'm hoping it should be done by now. So let me just do a quick refresh and cross my fingers that our results are in. So I just want to show you guys, how you get live results. And so now that I've refreshed my page, I can go into my Chicago list, and there it is. It's completed. So huge difference. This first list does not have phone numbers and emails. It just has their names and mailing address. Since I skip traced it and paid about $6, I now have by far the best investment in the world. $6 gave me all of this information right here. I can pick up the phone and call right now. Or now that I have their contact information, again, I can go into the campaign and start marketing to their addresses, phone numbers, and emails. What if I do that and someone calls me back? Well, you go back to the top. So not only is our system used to search a market and build a list, you can search an address, or you can go into your My Properties and manually find that property that called you back. So maybe it's the Sangamon Street that called you. Just click on it and it pulls up that property's information. Or I'll be very frank with you. When someone calls you back, you're probably not even logged in at all, right? So this is probably what's going to happen. Someone's going to call you back. Oh, okay, hold on one second, Mr. Homeowner. Let me log into my account really quick, or my database. And then you're going to ask them for the address. So what's your address? Once again, what you're going to do is type in the address in the search bar. And what that does is it actually pulls up the specific property instead of the whole market, right? Because remember, when we searched Chicago, It's, hey, here are all of Chicago's records for you that we've collected. But when we search an address, it's a whole different story. It's, hey, here's all of the addresses information at this point. So we'll show you the subject property. You can zoom in. We are using Google Maps. So the green is the subject property, red are the neighbors. You can use the Google person to drop down and take a look at it. There you go. So, yeah, very vacant and abandoned, right? So not only are we showing you this, we'll show you the nearby listings, like if there's enough cash buyers for you, how this market has trended over the last 30 days or up to a year if you want to change the time frame. But this is the most important part here on the right side. It's the ability to go into the details. And this right here, is analyzing a property. It's the ability to search the address and find the opportunities now. Now, an opportunity is all of this, right? Now, people will sell property for any reason. And I can give you some reasons here this person might want to sell. Maybe because the property is 106 years old now. It's a lot of issues unless you've been keeping up with these issues, right? If not, that could be a reason to sell. 27 years of ownership. Maybe you don't like the community getting populated now. That could be a reason to sell. 27 years of ownership and you have an open mortgage still on your property. Maybe you're tired of making payments, right? Or as we asked earlier, it's vacated. You're not in this house and you're paying on this mortgage. Why? Let me take care of this property for you and get rid of that mortgage. I'll make you a cash offer. This is what I mean by finding opportunities, is that when Orion calls me back because I marketed to him, I'm going to search his address, go into the details, and hey, Mr. Ryan, I'd like to talk to you about your property. And we're going to start talking about some things that I'm seeing on my database, right? I can even use it to talk about the school district, right? Did you go to the Chicago Public School District 299? You did. What year did you graduate? Awesome. Did you play any sports? I'm building a relationship and I'm in California and I'm doing that off a simple question, the school district. This is how important this information is. And this is why we took the effort to get all of this and put it all together. Property details, the mortgage information, which if you time traveled 10, 15 years ago, this is not even around, right? Mortgage and property details together on one page, plus showing you all the other properties this person owns, plus the taxes that they're paying on this individual property. And then finally, once they actually want to sell, I can go into the comps area and run comps using public records, or without even holding a license in this market, I can look at MLS data. Not only can I see MLS data, but photos included. I can see the photos of these properties. Some of them will have the interior photos, so I can see if they've been fully renovated or not. And that lets me know, where the homeowner's property is to these rehabbed properties. Because they're always going to ask for full price, right? I'd like to get 214 like my neighbor, or I like to get 249 like my neighbor, or 219. Well, your neighbor that sold for 219 sold it fully renovated. Yours is not renovated. Yours is about 40% renovated. I'll give you 40% of 219. So you're going to be able to use our public records, MLS records, or both of them, coupled with filters so you can isolate the subject property, right? So if the property is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, I suggest looking for the same thing. You can decrease or increase your distance for results. You can decrease or increase your sell range if you'd like. But ultimately, your comps will be here on the right side for you to use when negotiating. And to make things even cooler, you can check off your results that you're interested in. Finally, after checking those off, you can hit the actions button and print out a report. Why? Because we know you're either going to need to email this to the homeowner so they can think about it, or you're going to end up going to the property and visiting the homeowner. And when you do, this is what you can bring to them. Your comps report. It shows them their subject property, their characteristics. It shows the comps that you pulled in the area, where those comps are located, the characteristics of those comps, and it shows each one of the results of those comps. So that way, the homeowner doesn't have to feel offended when you offer a low price, right? You can justify your offer by saying your house is nowhere near these two properties. And that's why I'm offering you 160 or 120 or whatever that may be. So, guys, again, this is just a snippet of what Propstream can do, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys the two most fundamental things of real estate investing, which is, can we generate leads? How can I lead generation and analyzing a property after we do that? Now, again, we do have other things like the mobile app for those driving for dollars. We have team member accounts, and then we have our list automator feature. So my name is Burton. Thank you guys so much for letting me show you just a quick example of how you can build a list and what you can do with it, and then how to analyze a property or the details you're going to see when you're talking to someone over the phone, and how to run comps using public and MLS records. So Jacob, I'm going to bring that back to you, man.
Perfect. I saw a bunch of questions. So what questions do you guys have about Propstream that me and Burton can help answer for you? Because I know, there's a lot there. There's a lot that you can do with it. So sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming and a little bit confusing. So that's why it's important to be able to ask questions. Someone asked, can we text inside a Propstream?
No, not right now. No, we don't have a texting platform, but in that sense, you would probably be what we call a part two user. You would build your list, get the contact information, then export it to a texting platform. But in this very current version, there's no texting right now.
And they probably will have texting or would have it, but there's just a lot of, with the law and everything that goes with texting, they don't really want to offer something that they could get in trouble for. I feel like.
Correct. Yeah. There's a lot of legalities with marketing, some marketing elements. So
And they're such a good
definitely.
company that they don't want anything that's in a gray area to, mess them up, right? So somebody
Absolutely.
asked, what's the difference between estimated sale value and average sale price in Propstream?
Great question. So the estimated sell value, this is what you're referring to. This is a backdoor algorithm that we're using. So pretty much we're running comps on our own for you on the back end, right? You're not going to see which results we're using, but what we're aiming for are similar characteristics using public MLS data, essentially both of their data sets, to give you that. But here's the thing. Don't ever use it. Like anytime you're talking to someone, I know it's easy to say, well, Mr. Orion, I think your house is worth 140. Don't ever use it. And the reason why I say that is because if you do, and Mr. Matthew says, well, how do you know it's 140? I cannot prove that value at all, right? There's no way for me to justify that.
Right.
As for the comparables average sell value, that's just an average of the 14 properties that sold, but those 14 properties that sold in a half a mile have not been filtered. As a matter of fact, if you click over here in comparables and just click on public records, those are the same 14 properties. But as I mentioned, they're not filtered. So some of them are 2 bedrooms, some of them are 3 bedrooms, some of them are 4 bedrooms, right? So all we did was just take all these 14 records and just average the sell price. So it's not that easy. You never want to go into someone's details and say, I think it's 139 or 126.
Right.
No, you
don't want to
need to
use
go.
just that. But
Yeah, you need to go into the comparables. Just think of comping this way. Running comps isn't about finding a perfect number. This is why when people say, how accurate are your values? It's not about accuracy. It's never been about finding a perfect number. Running comps is about what I call drawing a line, right? This homeowner's house is not in perfect condition, but he wants perfect condition pricing, correct? I need to show him what a perfect condition property looks like. Essentially, I need to draw a line. Mr. Homeowner, 250 is what perfect condition looks like, but you're not there. You're about 40% from there. I'm going to give you 40% of 250. So the reason I say that is I get a lot of people all the time calling me and saying, hey, I need help finding the perfect ARV for this property. And I say, why? You're never going to buy it for that ARV. You need to justify your offer. So if you're going to offer 50%, show them why their house is going to be 50% compared to these other properties. So that's my little rant on
Yeah.
running comps.
And
So don't use these values at all, at all.
you need to be able, if you want to pull that back up real quick, you
Yeah.
need to be able to collect enough data by looking at comparables to feel confident and comfortable with your offer. The whole thing with comping is being able to collect enough data. And to do that, you need to be able to see all the different properties that are comparable to yours in the areas, in the same area in a mile radius, that and what they sold for and what they looked like. And when you look at all them, you're able to collect enough data in your brain to understand, hey, a fair price for their property is here, and I feel confident and comfortable making that offer. And then if you scroll up real quick, back to that estimated value stuff. So it's nice to just see real quick at the top, hey, the estimated value is this. So if they're asking for 500,000, right, you can quickly see that, there's no way that it's going to be worth 500,000. So that's the only thing you really use it for, is to determine if they're, just messing with you or if they're relatively serious. And then the comparables down here with the average sale price and average days on market, it's something nice to see. I like to see the average days on market. That's the only one I look at, because when I get a lead from SEO, from search engine optimization on my website in a random state, in a random city that I've never done business in, it makes it easy for me to tell, hey, our property is moving quickly enough for it to be an active market. If that days on market says 200 days, it's not good at all. Even 132, it's way different than the market, than my main market. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, it's under 60 right now. I'm sure of it. And so that's a very important tool too. I feel like it helps you a lot determine if a market's active or not. And then next we have our divorce and bad credit on Propstream. Can you pull those, divorce and bad credit?
Divorce, yes. Bad credit, no. We don't have that. And in regards to divorce, disclaimer, it's not our strongest list ever. Like if we go to Chicago again and just search divorce, sure we'll find some records. But I'm sure there's more than 11 divorces happening in Chicago. So we do have some results, but it's not our strongest suit, to be frank with you. And then as for bad credit, we don't have that data set at all.
Does skip tracing scrub against the DNC and litigator list? Do you guys
No,
scrub?
we used to in the past, not anymore. There's a lot of legalities behind doing it for people. So the reality is this: we draw the line with, we're giving you what you need, right? You're paying for phone numbers and emails. Here are the phone numbers and emails. It's really what you do with them is the reason why you need to scrub it, right? Because we're not forcing you to solicitate or sell them or do anything to these numbers. You're paying for that phone number and email. Here you go. The reason why obviously one would need to scrub it is because you might be in that gray area where you might be soliciting, right? So we don't do it. And another reason we had to stop is that, for example, from a business standpoint, if we scrub the list today for you, but you don't call that list, let's say till 2 months later, I'm going to be frank with you, there are numbers on there that now are on the DNC, and that falls on us because we gave you a list that was supposed to be scrubbed, right, but because you called it 2 months later, that's really, even though it's not on us, it will eventually fall on us. 100%. And so we no longer scrub the list. We just give you the phone numbers and emails that you paid for. So please take the time to scrub it if you're gonna, obviously solicitate or sell it to any of these individuals.
And I don't really scrub too much, but that being said, people are coming after me, but I'm working on that. You're going to get into lawsuits when you're doing a lot of business. It's just part of the game. So if you haven't had one yet, you will when you're making a lot of money. But they're most of the time they're pretty small, and we've been able to just get rid of them and settle. So what contract can we use in Texas? You can use my contract. Go to jacobblank.com/free and download my contract. jacobblank.com/free and download my contract and scripts. How do we run comps on land? You want to show them how to run?
Well, yeah, it's not so black and white with residential properties, but it's as simple as pretty much it's in there. So if I go to like Bakersfield, California, where there's lots of vacant land, if I ever pull up a vacant land and I wanted a comp a vacant land, it's again not so easy as apples to apples, right? But if you go into comparables, just like you would with a residential property, either public, MLS, or both, your choice there. Where it says property class, make sure to choose vacant. That way you'll see if there's any other vacant land. But again, it's not an easy question to answer. Like how do I comp vacant land?
Yeah.
Because there's zoning, there's things that you need to worry about: zoning, dimensions, what else? Soil type, depending on the area, could be things like that.
There's a
So
lot of different things.
there's a lot into it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we can't show you what other vacant land sold for in the near area, but as to are they similar in terms of characteristics and features? Possibly not. So I would probably encourage
Yeah.
you to speak with
So my
an
recommendation
expert on that.
to comp land, we do a lot of business with land, to comp land in Propstream, I would put the radius that you're searching out to 3 miles and look for comparable land out to 3 miles. That way you get a lot more comparables. But really the best way to comp land is to use the MLS and do a radius search on the MLS, which you can't really do on Propstream. The best you can do is go a farther distance and get more comparables, which basically you'll find the same stuff. It just, you're gonna have to look through all the information about each comp to make sure everything's pretty similar to that, make sure it is comparable to it. So, but you definitely can comp land. My acquisition guys do comp land on here because they don't know how to do an MLS search on the MLS. And so if they can't find anything on Propstream, they come and get me to do it. But most of the time they're able to determine a value on land through Propstream. With skip tracing, do you make sure not to send us litigations? We went over that. Also, do you sift out previously skip trace numbers that we already paid for in the past?
Yeah,
That's
no duplicates will count against you. So if you skip trace a house, let's say in bankruptcy today, and then next month it goes into pre-foreclosure and you skip trace it again, it doesn't count against you.
That's a great question.
Yeah, so great question.
The pre-foreclosure feature on here. The pre-foreclosure feature here means that they are about to lose their house. They are probably looking for cash so they don't lose it to the bank. 100% correct. And they're on a time crunch too. They got to sell or they got to figure out another solution. Is skip tracing charge included in the monthly fee? No. What's the cost per record?
It's 12 cents normally if you get results. So if you don't get any results, we won't charge you, but it's 12 cents, no minimum or maximum. And then 10 cents if you have our enhanced features list automator. So 12 cents for everybody, 10 cents if, again, you have the enhanced features.
And keep in mind, Propstream is normally $100 a month, but if you use my link, you get a 7-day free trial and you get $3 off every single month. How do you determine if a market is hot?
Ooh,
with a lot of cash buyers and good sellers?
Yeah, that's a tricky question, but there is a way anybody can do in our system. Again, it's a matter of just manipulating the data. Like if you were to tell me to go to, Phoenix, Arizona and find a hot market, well, the first thing I would do is probably follow where all the cash buyers are going, right? So I would definitely go for the cash buyers, maybe look for the ones flipping residential, single family properties, and maybe ones that have like multiple properties, maybe 10 or more properties, and ones that bought this year, maybe in the last 7 months. So here are all the cash buyers with 10 or more properties that bought a property this year. And there's 1,100 of them. And then what I can do is, you see this little tab right here? I can click on it, and then I could break it down by zip code if I wanted to and see which zip code had the most cash transactions and then go in that area, right? So there's a lot of different things you can do. So make sure you go into the help section, because I do weekly webinars where I show these type of stuff that you can do in Propstream. But I always say follow the money, right? Let the cash buyers tell you where to go.
And another good place to look is that average days on market. You could pull up a bunch of different properties in that market, check that average days on market, and you'll see that properties are moving quickly. So there's multiple different things you want to look at. What contract could I use in Georgia? A lot of people are asking, does your contract work in these different states? I do believe my contract will work in every state. There might just be a couple minor tweaks you have to make, but I would get the seller to sign that contract and send it to title, and then title will let you know if you need to make any tweaks to it. And if you do need to, then just make those and you'll be all good. Yes, my contract works for double closes. Again, you can get my contract at jacobblink.com/free. Can you show the cash buyers feature again, please? You just did that, so we're good. I was told if you were asking to buy their home and they're not selling. No, that's not an issue with the DNC. So people are asking, where can I buy Propstream merch? They want hats and shirts.
Currently not available at the moment.
In other words, what's the minimum? Okay, we got pretty much all the questions answered. Does anybody else have any other questions? Does it show ARV? You got to determine the ARV by comping the property and then calculating your offer off of that. So you determine ARV by looking at comparables in the area, the highest sales in the area. So yes, it shows you all the information you need in order to determine the ARV. All right. Does anybody else have some questions? This will be on YouTube as well. I will upload it either this weekend or next week. What are some things people would try to get in a lawsuit for? For calling someone when they're on the DNC list or they're a litigator. So you're only going to get in trouble if someone really wants to go after you. So you can protect yourself by trying not to give out your company name till they are really wanting to sell their property to you. But it just happens. But if you're not calling millions of people, it would be really, really rare for it to happen. Someone says, Propstream, you should make a dialer. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of stuff on the way in the works. So
we're working day and night for some new features. I just can't say anything. So, but just know what we're seeing today clearly won't be what we have in the very near future. So
somebody said the title company took my earnest money deposit after the deal closed. It was only $100. No, they got to reimburse you for that $100. Some title companies don't do their job the best, so you might have to call and say, hey, you never sent me my earnest money back. The earnest money should be included on your assignment fee check. Is personal name good to give out? Yeah, you can give out your personal name. It's fine. There's multiple people with your name, most likely. Do you have a video on calculating the ARV? So I am going to come out with a video on Propstream on me running like 30 to 50 comps for an hour straight, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. And I'm literally going to show you exactly how I comp properties. Also, make sure you guys stay in the call. Don't leave, because once we have all these questions answered, I'm going to be picking a random winner to win the giveaway for 1 year subscription to Propstream. Would you ever do one-on-one phone calls with 17-year-old? Yeah, I'm a very busy guy. You know, I'll try to hop on a phone call with you. Shoot me a DM, and I'm sure I can definitely answer some of your questions and give you some advice. And, you know, give you a plan on what direction to go, brother. Need the SMS feature for sure. ROI with this is crazy. Yes, the return on investment is crazy. $97 a month. You get one deal. That deal could be for $100,000. Who knows? And look at that ROI. It is unreal. Propstream is one of the most affordable platforms to use in order to elevate your business and do better in wholesaling real estate. And, you know, it's cheap, right? But it literally provides more than so many more expensive platforms. So it's literally, it's just one of the best things. A while back, one of my buddies that has an office near me was telling me that he's doing a lot more business than me, a lot more deals. And I'm like, what are you doing? Where are you getting your data from? And he's like, Propstream. And I'm like, oh no, I've barely been using Propstream for data. You know, and then I switched up and started using it a lot more, and I started to get a lot more deals. I was always using it to comp properties, but not so much for the data. And then I listened to my buddy who's cranking out $200,000 months and whatnot, like every single month. And I was like, okay, I got to start using a lot of this data from Propstream. And that's what I did. You said does Propstream work with REI Reply? REI Reply is a SMS platform, I believe. So yes, you get the data from Propstream, you upload it to REI Reply, and you send your marketing. You're the best, Jacob. I appreciate you. Can you export out data and protect? I don't know what that question said. I need that video tutorial on comps. It is on the way. Do you recommend getting an LLC? I do recommend getting an LLC, but you don't need it for your first few deals. Amazing, the more you give, the more you receive. That's why I'm always here to keep giving, because it comes back tenfold. So just make sure to help out everyone around you. Could you provide a template of your Excel sheets for wholesaling or your resources? Yeah, so a bunch of my resources and a bunch of different things that I use in my business are going to be coming out shortly at jacobblank.com in like a month or two. A lot is in the works for a lot of different things I'm going to provide to my community. So look out for all that. Is an LLC the best type of company? Yep. Start with an LLC. I have a seller in Hopper, but need help. Yes, we can JV. If you have a deal under contract and you need help selling it, go to jacobblank.com/dispo. Submit your deal and I will help you sell it. I will help you maximize profits and sell the deal. I've been using your script for a while. You can just alter my script a little bit. Great tool, bro. Congrats on the 125K deal. Thank you so much. How many deals do you do a month? I do between 10 to 15 deals every month. If you are underage, is an LLC mandatory? Yeah, if you're not over the age of 18, you can't wholesale. You can't sign contracts without being on an LLC with someone over the age of 18. If you want more information on that, I have a YouTube video about how to wholesale real estate under the age of 18. Burton, do you have to go at 2 p.m. or do you have a little?
Yeah, I do have a hard stop, but we can do about 2:02 if we need to.
Okay, perfect. Could you possibly make a future video on how you negotiate? I have a good amount of videos on how I negotiate on my YouTube channel. Watch the video, how to get bigger deals. That will help you negotiate. Can you share a contract sample for AZ wholesaling? My contracts, you can go download them at jacobblank.com/free. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to scroll through the list and pick a random winner. But first off, I want to put the link in here. That way you guys can go get a 7-day free trial of Propstream and get a monthly discount. So make sure to use my link to support me. Go click that link, get a 7-day free trial of Propstream, and you'll get a monthly discount. So make sure to use this link, get that 7-day free trial and a monthly discount. All right, let's see how I'm going to pick this winner. So we are going to give away 1 yearly subscription to Propstream. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to scroll through the list of participants. And there. Robs Lopez. Robs Lopez won. Can you direct chat me your email? Direct chat me your email on here. And then we will get you set up. All right. Direct chat me your email. Congratulations. I hope that it helps you excel in your real estate journey. That's awesome. 1 year, $970 worth of Propstream for free. Let's go. All right. Chat me your email real quick before we wrap this up. That way I have it. Or I'll find your email after this. I'm sure we have it. But again, if you want a 7-day free trial, okay, there's his phone number. I got it. All right, let me save this. Okay. All right, I'll call you, brother. I'll call you after this. But finally, if you want that 7-day free trial of Propstream and a monthly discount, I'm going to throw that link in the chat one more time. Make sure to go sign up. I hope this video, this webinar was very helpful. That way you understand Propstream more and how it can help you get more deals. And thank you so much, Burton, for joining me on here.
All right. Yeah, most definitely. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody, for investing your time with us today.
Appreciate it. All right. You guys have an amazing day and keep crushing it in real estate. Bye.